Hello, everyone. This is Jenny Fern, and today I'm sharing with y'all some snippets of a morning routine for a very hot summer weekend day. This is from Saturday when it got to 110 degrees Fahrenheit later in the day. I'm also recording this on Sunday where it's also supposed to get to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So this shows some ways to combat that a little bit. So I'm posting a video every day in July. If you are interested in following along with that, feel free to subscribe. So the first things that I'm doing after I've taken care of my animals, I've taken my dog and my cat out because they just go out together every morning. My dog will pee and poop, and then we'll come back inside. I'll feed the cats, and I'll feed my dog. And then when that's over, I feed myself. So this morning I was having some granola with milk and some jasmine green tea. That was pretty good. And then I sat down to, unwind a little bit while eating that. And then after that, it was straight to business while it was still cool out in the morning. I woke up at about 7 a.m. And started to get to work, taking out the compost. This is some compost liquid that drains out of the bottom of this concrete sink that I'm putting into my old dishwater that I'm going to use to water some plants. I fixed up this bucket handle with some corks, some wine corks, to make it easier to hold on to because I've been using it so frequently for distributing water from my shower and from my dishwater. So for that morning, this region was the region that I was going to hit with the bucket. I rotated around different plants in the yard so that they're not all getting somewhat soapy water every day. Over here, I have a honeyberry. I think the other one has died, so I'm going to have to get another one so that they can cross-pollinate. I have a potato leaf, tomato. I have a couple of squash, maybe a melon. Well, there's 3 squash, and one of them might have been a melon. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm watering this mound of corn and amaranth and cowpeas. I think there's a couple of pumpkins in here too. A big medley of different things. One of the main tasks in the morning before it gets too hot for a really hot day is to make sure everything is really well watered. Unfortunately, we're experiencing a drought where I live currently, so I'm not trying to use water to excess, but I do keep my garden alive. So I am watering these little strips of planted out garden. This has minimal mulch. You can see there's a little bit of shredded paper. And then my new hugel mound, which I just posted a video about recently, that has not been mulched yet because the seedlings haven't popped up yet. And then I will heavily mulch this area most likely in the fall and winter so that I can get some of that earth covered back up. But for now, I'm using it as some fresh turned earth for my seedlings, and taking advantage of the fact that it is not covered in mulch to help sprout things like amaranth. So that's the idea behind this. I'm really trying to soak in really well and make sure that everything fares well in the daytime when it gets really, really hot. And I went around to all of the plants that I have in my garden and watered them in. nice and gave them all a good drink so that they would be well prepared for the blistering heat of the day. It's so sad on hot days like this to look at your squash plants and see that they've just completely wilted. I also took the opportunity to plant out a tomato seedling that got a little bit larger, and that I just didn't have a place for yet in the garden. So I put this on the corner of on my brand new hugel mound, and then watered this in really well to make sure that it would be okay. Usually you would plant tomatoes a little bit deeper, but I was getting into the woody core of this hugel mound, so I just plopped it right on top. And then Gordon is my constant companion in the garden, and he just follows me around all morning before it gets too hot and has a great time before he just naps for the rest of the day. So he really does love this time, and he misses it dearly when I am working instead of, on the weekend. So here I am watering in this tomato. Pretty simple. And I don't show watering any of the rest of the garden because it's a lot to cover and I had a lot of work to do. And while doing that, I also take the opportunity to make some harvests outside of the heat of the day. So I picked a lot of wild plums, and I also picked an onion that the tops had started to die back. And I picked some greens and some herbs so that I can make breakfast. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, thank you for watching.